Well, alrighty, let's do this. Really, really impressed with your progress so far. We've got a niche nailed. We've figured out our transformation. We've designed out at a high level what our offer looks like with our, with our triangle model. What we're going to do now is we're going to take that simple triangle and we're going to flesh it out into a program that you can stand behind, look a prospect in the eye, and tell them, I know that this will get you the results you're after, that you're confident can scale, you're confident that they'll win with, and frankly, not only will you feel confident about it, but they will too. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to design what we call a signature system, which is, okay, Taki, so you've told me like a bunch of times that I'm going to create a 6 to 10 week program. That's what we're going to do right now. Okay. So, I actually called it a little bit of an audible. What I had planned to do is to talk price. And I realized that if I switch this around and we do signature system first, then this piece will be done in a nice smooth flow and we'll be able to work price together. So we'll do that in the next session, if that's cool. When it comes to designing a signature system, there are 3 big mistakes that people make. Number 1, if you think about the process of getting the outcome that your clients want as a puzzle, what's the most important piece of the puzzle? By the way, I hate puzzles. I want it on the record. Taki Moore hates puzzles. Kira Marie Moore, my wife, she loves puzzles. She gets one every year for Christmas. It's got like 1 million pieces and it takes forever. I hate that stuff. Anyway, thank you for letting me get that off my chest. If you think about your outcome as a puzzle, what's the most important piece of the puzzle? Some people say it's the corners. Yeah, the corners are really important, but what's even more important is the picture of the finished product on the top of the box. And so the big mistake that I see people make when it comes to designing signature systems is they give people the puzzle pieces, but they don't zoom out and give people the vision of the back of the box. And that's what our triangle does. Second mistake is they teach too much. And because they teach too much, clients get overwhelmed and they end up making the mistake of trying to teach everything you know instead of just teaching what the client needs to know. You're at like a master's level at this stuff, whether you've ever taught it before or not. The level of experience you've got compared to where your prospects are 2 completely different conversations. Let's say that everything you know for an upgrade offer after they've done their 6 to 10 weeks with you. Right now, let's just teach them what they need to know with you. Is that cool? So they can't see the puzzle, you teach too much, and people get overwhelmed. And they get overwhelmed because they don't have a clear sense of, they know the outcome, but they don't know the milestones along the way. That's what today's going to fix. So today, we want to take the context we've made, our triangle, and go deeper with it so people can see the whole map. Number 2, we want to create a really straight line system so they can see, I'm here, I can see if I do these things, I get to the outcome I want. And frankly, those key steps will become the milestones along the customer journey. So that's what we're going to do right now. Let's jump over to the table, make it happen. Let's do this. Okay, so, wrong button. Correct button, there we are. Nice to know even the Talkster makes mistakes all the time and often. So, metaphor I want you to take on board for this process is what we're really designing is a pathway for your clients, a map. And the best maps I've seen live on subways. If you've seen like a New York subway map or a London tube map, they've just basically got a straight line with dots on it, which tells you what station you're up to, so you can count ahead, go, I'm 3 steps away from the end, or 3 stops away from getting where I want to get off. Cool? Or you can jump on and go, okay, I can see that it's 6 steps to get where I want. That subway map gives people a bunch of clarity about origin, destination, milestones along the way. We're going to do exactly the same together. So this might look vaguely familiar. We mapped out this in the last session together. You might notice that in the previous version, these were blue, and I made them green. Couldn't help myself. It's better like this. You'll see why. So what we've got is, these are the 3 problems that they've got. These are the 3 things that they want instead. And now we need to map out the journey, the how. And so I'm just going to take us one level deeper. And what we're going to do is we're going to start to brainstorm the process for getting people there. And the process is going to be either 2 or 3 sub-steps under each of these. And so in our model, we had 3. Niche and offer, niche and transformation, offer and price, signature system, and minimum viable product. Connect, get people to raise their hands, jump in the comments, sell by chat, triage, strategy sessions. Remember that? 3 things about 3 things. In other words, 3 things about delivery confidence, 3 things about hot leads, 3 things about awkward sales. Now, the only thing better than 3 things about 3 things is 2 things about 3 things, right? So all we're going to do right now is we're just going to map out the sub-steps. How do you know if your program is like 6 weeks or 10 weeks? Well, it's kind of up to you and the price that we choose. But one way to think about it is if we're talking delivery confidence and we only had 2 steps, and hot leads and we had 2 steps, and effortless conversion and we had 2 steps, well, that feels a lot like 6 steps to me. 6 steps, 6 weeks, feels kind of tidy. Cool? But I'm getting ahead of myself. So all I want you to do is to think through each of these kind of red to green, sub-transformations and go, what are the, if I could teach them 3 things, or if there are 3 things to make that happen, what would they be? And so here we said, well, and I'm going to go blue because blue is blueprint actions. So this is problems, results, actions or activators. Colors matter more than you think. So what have we got? Well, we've got, people would need to know their niche and their transformation. Next, they need to design out their offer and price it. And then thirdly, they need to create this signature system so that it's a sellable thing. Okay, well, they're the 3 big steps. Again, don't get too hung up on the words. We can polish the words later, and I'll shoot a little satellite video about language and naming in the future. But for now, just go, what are the 3 steps to make that happen? Then for hot leads, well, in our world, we need some people to connect with, and we need to get them to connect with us. Oops, just realized I was on the wrong camera the whole time. I'm a one-take guy, so imagine that as I talk those things, I drew these things out. Delivery confidence, well, we need a niche, we need an offer, we need a signature system. Cool. For hot leads, what do we need? Well, we need to connect with people. We need to get them to raise their hands. Oops, 5 fingers, much better. And then finally, we need to get them into the comments. Cool. Here, we've got, how do we make conversion effortless instead of awkward? Well, we sell by chat, we triage and filter out people so we only talk to the good ones, and then we have our strategy session. And so that's kind of big picture, the map. Does that make sense? We'll talk about the subway map in a second, but I just want you to know that what we've just done here is we've outlined the whole program. Not just the marketing of the program, but the delivery as well. And so then we get to go, okay, well, which ones do we do first and second and third? And we'll get to that in just a second. So now that you've seen a sample of the model, let's build yours. Hey presto, here we are. So we've talked subway, we've mapped out what a model looks like. Let's make yours. If you remember in the last worksheet, we got this far. I'm just going to take it 1 level deeper by adding that outer rung. I've got one here that's kind of ready to go. You can either just write on top of the previous worksheet, or you can text it up down here. So let's remember we had some problems. Oops. We had some problems. We called them frustrations. Then we had some fixes in green. This is what you want instead. Effortless sales, delivery confidence. And now we're going to decide, well, what do we need to do to make that, to make, say, this bit go from red to green? And if you had to break it up into 2 or 3 steps, I don't care if it's 2, I don't care if it's 3. Frankly, I find 3 is pretty easy, but that's totally up to you. 2's better. Mine usually land in 3, and either way is totally cool. Okay. So I just want you to imagine right now, if you had to take someone from whatever your red was at the bottom to whatever your green was at the bottom, in 2 or 3 steps, what are the 2 or 3 big chunks? And then just decide what they could be. Again, 2 or 3 doesn't really matter. We'll polish these at the end. For now, we're just capturing, and then we can sort them out and maybe bundle some together. Is that cool? So I'm just going to give you a minute right now to take that first transformation and decide how you want to, what the steps are. If you had to break from here to here in 3 moves, what are the 3 big chunks? Ready, set, go. Yeah, do it. Don't worry. I still got a liter of water to drink. Take your time. Nice. Cool. So, question is, if they do this, that, and the other thing, will they go from here to here? I reckon the answer is yes. Cool, so that's looking tasty. Let's do the same for this side right here. We want to go from here to here. If we had to break that up into 3 moves, what are the 2 or 3 big steps? And then I want you to do the same for here to here. What are the 2 or 3 big moves? Again, I don't care if it's 2, don't care if it's 3. I do care that you pause me right now and get a draft out. Just to be super clear, we're looking for a really shitty first draft. Please don't make this perfect, okay? If we want to set the bar really, really low so you actually get it done, crappy first draft. Got it? Pause me, do it. I'll be back in a sec. It's cool. I'll wait. Do your thing. Nice. All right. So right now what we should have is a map that looks a little bit like this. And the words are going to be ugly. Don't stress about the words. We'll polish them up as we go. Right now, what really matters is that the ideas are right. And so I said before that it doesn't matter if we've got 2 things or 3 things around the outside. What does matter is we want the same number, because then the model looks elegant. There's nothing worse than an inelegant model. So if it's going to be 2, we want 2 here and 2 here and 2 here, and we want to get rid of the others and maybe merge them together. If it's going to be 3, we want them all to be 3, and you're just going to massage it around so we've got 2 or 3. I don't mind, whatever you choose. 2s, 3s, both are good. Is that cool? I think that's great. So that's step number 1. We've got 3 things about 3 things. In other words, 3 blues about 3 greens. So then our next step is to work out, well, which of these pieces, this one or that one or that one, do we want to do first? You know, which one do your clients do first? I usually put the foundation of the triangle, like the base of the triangle, and make that first, but it doesn't really matter. We can kind of adjust them around in a bit. But like, let's say if we had to say, which of these 3 sides, I'll make them purple, which of these 3 sides do we do first? I'm just going to label that number 1. If we do the second one second, third one third, now we've got a good little order. Does that make sense? So remember when we were over there, we talked about subway map, how it's a straight line? Notice that a triangle isn't a perfectly straight line? Well, that's where this coat hanger comes in. Right now we've got a model that looks a lot like this. And what we want to do, once we've decided the order, is to bend it till we have one straight pathway. That's what we're going for here, okay? So what we've essentially done is we've just got a pair of scissors and we've chopped the end off and we've put it in the right order. 1, then 2, then 3. So we have a nice straight line. And again, our 3 chunks with 3 things about each. If I was to color code this properly in a way that made it really clear, I'd go, we've got our 3 steps. 1, 2, 3, and our 3 stops on our subway map for each. Is that cool? So what I want you to do is to spend a little bit of time polishing this up, drop it in the Facebook group, just take a screening of your page like this, show me what your things are, love to see what you're up to, what you're cooking, and let's do a quick little recap reminders, 3 things. Number 1, our job is to create 3 things about 3 things. A triangle is just a really easy model for this. People love 3s. You know, there's 3 blind mice. There's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. There's 3s everywhere you look. You can't help it. There's 3s. So we're going to do 3 things about 3 things. If you want to make it really simple, 2 things about each of the 3 things is totally cool as well. In fact, maybe it just proves that you're smarter and more elegant than me. Step 2, like the coat hanger, second reminder, straighten it out. So we know of the triangle, I get that I've got to do it all, but which order am I going to do it in? And number 3, when you show your model like this, not only is it easy to make the videos for our training, it's really easy to market, really easy to sell. Cool, so I'm looking for 2 things in the comments below. Firstly, what did you learn and what did you love? And secondly, I'd love to see a copy of your model pasted below. Cool, big love from me. What we're going to do in our next set of modules is talk about how we're going to deliver this program and how we're going to price it. The $1 million question. But I just want you to notice that if you can help people go from the problem that they've got to the promise that we've just been talking about, solve their 3 biggest problems by getting these 3 green outcomes, by doing these, blue steps, this thing is worth a ton of money because it's going to save people a fortune, it's going to save people a bunch of time, it's going to get them the outcomes they want so much faster. Cool? Take good care. Great to chat. I'll see you in the next video. Comment below.